we're on. Welcome, everybody. Morning.
We're big.
Morning. We are.
Were we big last week, too?
We weren't on last week.
Oh, yeah.
We're a bit tired because we have, after this week, 2 more weeks of AEP left. It's crazy. So welcome, everybody, to the Medicare Cafe. My name is Olivia Richardson.
And I'm Carrie Vogt.
And I am wondering if we are actually live. Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, we are back. We took last week off. I know last week I was at deer camp in Missouri. Opening weekend was not last weekend, but the weekend before. So I'm a rifle hunter, and so I was at deer camp that
Good
week.
for you.
Yes.
I don't remember what I was doing.
You were selling policies and saving lives.
It's probably what was happening.
Yeah.
Or I was home with a sick child. That's been my life for 8 weeks.
That is my life right now.
One of the two. I was either running around like a chicken with my head cut off or fixing snotty noses.
Oh my gosh. I was up since 2:30 last night in the morning, I guess I should say, dealing with a coffee kid. Not coffee the delicious, just coughing.
Oh, coughing.
Yeah. I didn't get my kid coffee. He didn't need it. But my mother-in-law, who's currently at home with him, is at the day, and I'm going to go home after the cafe, but this was him.
Fell asleep eating.
See if you can see it.
Oh.
Stop
Hold
it.
back. It's too bright.
It's too bright.
It's a sweet little guy asleep.
He fell asleep in his high chair. You can't
chair.
see him, but he's just the poor little thing. So welcome, guys, today for the Medicare Cafe. We need to make sure we put on here that you guys can chat with us. We are so disheveled. I will tell you my 100% responsibility. I have been in meetings all morning trying to knock out my entire day so I can go home this afternoon to be with Cade. So sorry. If you do want to text us, our text line here, write it down. Our text line is 573-818-2688, 573.
I was going to see if I could hold that up.
818-2688. Or you can message us in the comment here. More than happy, guys, to have some conversation. But what today is an Ask Us Anything. We have a couple more weeks of AEP left.
Doesn't seem real.
After
it just
this
goes
week,
so
it's
fast.
a week and a half, I think.
It's the slowest, fastest, painful, just I don't know.
Where are you at right now? Tell me, if you were to break down your AEP and, this is what my grouping looks like. First I start here, then I move into this. Where are you at in your AEP right now? Have you seen all your clients?
I have seen probably 90% of them.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting.
Feeling pretty good about that. Well, I have at least 90% of... I've probably seen 75%, and then a little chunk reached out 2 or 3 times, haven't heard anything. Those I count as I've done what I can.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure. You can go to bed at night knowing that you did your best.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are still a few that just wait till the last few weeks that I know I'll be waiting to meet with them. But
you know you're going to have a December 7th, 7:30 at night appointment.
I told you I always have a really strong November. The last 2 weeks I've gotten 20 new lives.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
And those are from your financial partners?
Financial partners, client referrals, and actually a lot have come from seminars I did earlier at senior nonprofit organizations.
Yeah. I guess it's you never know. You never know when that person's gonna be
no.
Oh, hey, I didn't need you then, I do now.
Yeah, you never know.
That's so funny.
It is. It's fun. You just never know where a lead's coming from.
Oh.
I did have a weird person. I was
a weird person.
Well, I was I always ask. I was so how'd you get my name? And they're I can't really say. I was okay. Didn't know Medicare was secretive.
I can't tell you how I heard about you.
Wasn't it weird? I was am I being secret shopped?
It was were you secret shopped?
No.
I've had some of your partners, some of agents being I have totally been secret shopped. Here's what's going on. I'm oh, you were secret shopped. I don't know by who because we haven't heard anything, but yes, I've seen a huge increase of secret shopping this year.
I know I wasn't, and I can tell you at the second meeting, she finally told me.
She told you.
Yeah, I'll tell you that story. It's a good one.
Okay, was it something I can understand why you didn't tell me that?
Yes.
Okay.
Very bizarre, but for 48 hours, I was This is so weird.
Who's talking about me that they don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable saying that they were
I
talking
don't know.
about me?
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, today, guys, again, is an AMA or an
AMU.
AUA. Ask us
us
anything.
And
Ask
us anything.
Yes.
Wait, where was the M?
There is no M. The M was the me.
Oh.
Ask us anything.
You might not want to. We're not all sound today.
I am 100% willing to say I am not firing on all cylinders.
Best advantage plans in Florida when it comes to dental.
Oh, Pete.
Outside my contracting zone.
Yeah. Florida is a funny state. Florida is like a state that every MA plan is going to come in and be like, we have the best. We have the best anything. So it depends for sure, Pete, on the county that you're in. I know Cigna has come in and saying that, and Cigna is the one that has the limitless dental. Like, they don't have a cap on their dental. And they said, like, they're really, really strong. Like, they're going to be really big in Florida. But, Pete, I'd highly recommend calling and talking to our outreach team because they will literally be like, so what specifically are you looking for? What's important for dental? Is it benefit amount? Is it networks? Like, they'll be able to tell you all of that stuff because best advantage plan in Florida for dental, that seems like it's an easy question.
Yeah.
Tis not. So call our office. If you ask an MA plan, especially in Florida, every MA plan is going to be like, we're the best.
We're the best.
We're the best. So, but before, again, so please, guys, ask us questions. Text line 573-818-2688. Let us know. Even if it's just like, what'd you have for breakfast this morning? I'm okay answering that, and that's not too personal. But I know you were like, I want to talk about this, and that was your pharmacy stuff.
I
Let's
just
talk
feel
about
like
that.
this is an AEP of pharmacies.
I would agree.
I don't know what's going on, and maybe it's because, like, the plans, I feel like everything is pretty stable, that, like, there had to be some type of change. Something had to be, like, the bulk of the conversation. Mostly it is the small local pharmacies.
Those mom pops, yes.
Like, huge network shakeups. There's one in a smaller town, like 30 minutes south of here. They are no longer a network with anybody other than United Healthcare.
Yeah.
You can only go there if it's United Healthcare. How crazy is that?
I'm hearing that mom and pop pharmacies have been getting the brunt of just like every legislative like pharmaceutical change that's happening. Mom and pop pharmacies are the ones that are having to like eat those costs and handle those costs. And so like you're seeing a ton like this is something that like, okay, you're also seeing carriers looking for more money saving activities and looking for more like I want to pay you less. And who's willing to get paid less? The Walgreens, the CVS, they're willing to get paid less because they make up for that lost income on other things.
Right.
So your mom and pop pharmacies that
can't accept that.
They cannot take less money, and so they're just not able to accept those plans anymore.
It's so sad because I feel like I've had so many people say, DNH is a local one here. Like, I've gone to DNH for 20 years, but they won't accept this plan. And, like, I need to find one. Some people have said, like, I've had it with them, and they're willing to change pharmacies. Other people, the pharmacy, that small-town pharmacy is so important to them that they are paying a lot more for a Part D just so they can stick to their pharmacy. So I found that's been super interesting. And then also the retail pharmacies, which I think we've talked a little bit about this a few weeks ago, particularly Amazon's pharmacy. But there's a couple retail pharmacies here where they do not bill insurance. It's basically like, if a Good RX had a brick and mortar. It's just discounted drugs that aren't ran through insurance. So many people are using those for all their drugs, for half their drugs. And it's interesting because I'm like, okay, well, which drugs do you get through there? Because let's exclude those from your drug list. And so it's just been very interesting to me.
It is. It's. I will say, I say providers as a whole, you're seeing a lot of this, people switching this. But I mean, for sure, what you're feeling is 100% what's happening in the industry.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
that's not a Central Missouri thing. That is you feeling like people are just tightening up those pharmacies is something that is happening. I also think, especially, so we do know, some updates. We do know about the whole Inflation Reduction Act, which is going to basically put a max amount of pocket on drugs, down the line in several years. But this year, what they did is they made insulin the $35 cap. We know, again, there's a lot of conversations going on in the pharmaceutical world. We also know that starting July of next year, they're going to put the same insulin cap on Part B insulin. But that's going to happen
I didn't realize that.
7/1.
Okay.
So that's something too. Like there's
what insulin falls under Part B?
So insulin that falls under Part B.
Actual
it's going to be when it's administered through a pump. So when insulin is administered through a pump, then you pay for it. It's considered durable medical equipment. Right. And so they're going to say that even that insulin is going to have a $35 cap. So there's just a ton of things happening in the pharmaceutical world right now. In those cases, the insurance plans eat the cost, the Medicare Advantage or the Part D, they eat the cost, but they're now going to be way more conscious about their contracts and who they work with because they're going to do whatever they can. They're not going to eat that money. These are for-profit organizations.
I heard something really interesting from one of the carriers who somebody brought up a question. Somebody...
Can you see it? You can't. Okay.
You can't. All that hard work. Or hold it back here. Does that?
No.
Nope. Too bright.
Yeah. Brighter than my future.
Somebody brought up the Inflation Reduction Act and the cap on drugs and all that stuff, and his perspective was, yeah, it sounds great, but these Medicare Advantage plans that are zero premium and have all these wonderful benefits, that's not going to be a thing anymore.
That's a thing in the past.
Scary.
Well, and also keep in mind too, what's next year going to look like? This year we were talking about like, oh, it's been so stable. We haven't. Next year is going to be awful. And because again, a part of that is going to be they're going to make up the costs for the Inflation Act. They're going to make up for that. They're also going to make up for the fact that they're going to get a fraction of the funding. And Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare Advantage plans are going to get a fraction of the funding that they got in years past, and that is because funding for Medicare Advantage plans are highly dependent on star ratings. Well, star ratings took massive hits this year, and not so much for the consumer interaction, not so much because clients were having bad interactions, but because there was a lot of issues with fraudulent spending on the insurance company side. There was a lot of problems with you're not spending the money correctly. The ratios of what you're supposed to spend towards benefit versus profit wasn't correct.
Wow.
A lot of double billing, things like that. And so these star ratings you're going to see took significant hits for that. When they do that, the funding for those go down.
Man.
So that's why I think this year, making sure that when you're having your meetings with your people that you're really reiterating like, hey, this year we're okay. This year your benefits are going to go up. Don't expect this next year. Set those expectations now.
I met with somebody a week ago who he was like very knowledgeable about like Medicare legislation. I could have just sat. It was like I had a meeting with Dan Mangus or something. Like it was just like bizarre how much he was like with it. But he was like, that unsettling of are the Advantage plans going to get better? Are they going to get worse? He was like, that alone for me is like why I'm with this supplement. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, when you're weighing the options, I've never just really thought about how much those can change, can be unsettling. So I like that perspective.
But also keep in mind with the Medicare supplement, they're not without risk.
For sure. Again, especially with the like inflation, like rates next year, I'm sure are just going to be astronomical.
Also keep in mind too, you're seeing a lot more, especially people on a Medicare supplement. You're seeing a ton of claims process right now, and you're seeing a bunch of expensive chronic illness plans pay out right now.
Yeah.
And that's because we talk about during COVID-19, nobody went to the doctor unless it was absolutely necessary. You skipped your routine maintenance. You skipped your just checkups, and during that time, chronic illnesses. We're talking about cancer. We're talking about more serious things like diabetes, things like that. People got sick, and so whenever you're going to start seeing people actually start utilizing their plan that haven't for a while, and so I know Medicare supplements are not going to be without. They're not going to be protected.
Oh yeah, they're not. They're not risk free by any means.
No. So yeah, it's something absolutely to keep in mind. Again, we've been seeing a ton of conversations based around what is the industry doing. I think you're going to see a ton of shakeup. I think legislatively, also keep in mind, guys, that starting in January, there is a ton of regulations about what the commercials are going to be doing and like what So right now, you're starting to see like a huge uptick in like involvement on their side. Yeah. They're going to be really much more reliant on you, which is a good thing. In every aspect minus marketing. Right. People are going to be less looking for your services.
Interesting.
So
We think they're bad, but maybe they're good.
I think what they say is all publicity is good publicity.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of that. It's all publicity.
Makes sense.
People are talking about Medicare, which makes your job easier for sure because you don't have to sell why they need to talk to you because everybody is telling
Everybody's
them
talking about it.
you need to have this conversation. The problem with those advertisements have been that they are just very misleading and very inaccurate. So it's a double-edged sword for sure, but just know that that's going to look different come January.
Can't wait to see how different they look.
It'll be interesting.
If they'll be extinct or if they change what they say.
You know,
they're going to be sneaky.
they're going to
somehow,
be. It is. Like. You're going to.
They're going to figure out a way.
You're going to see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just going to be at what capacity and when
right.
and how often. So guys, it is, we're coming up to 10:20. Again, we do try to keep these short and sweet during this time. I know, Carrie, you have like 5 more appointments today. Plus your sister's in town. It is towards the holiday season.
Thanksgiving.
Just a couple things I want to mention. Some really cool things you can do during Thanksgiving. Obviously, I love do a thankful video. I'm thankful for my clients. I also really recommend send a Thanksgiving greeting card. Versus a Christmas card. And I've been talking about this for years.
They don't get lost in the shuffle.
They don't get lost in the shuffle, and people hold on to them longer. Because people will hold on to a Thanksgiving card throughout the entire season. So they'll hold on to it longer versus a Christmas card that you have for a couple weeks and you throw away because Christmas is over.
Yeah.
So do a Thanksgiving card, being I'm thankful for my clients, stand out in the shuffle, be first.
I like it.
Do it during AEP.
Yeah.
Be first, be top of mind. It's a great method of communication. And then let everybody else fight for attention over the holiday season.
You need to announce that over there so that they change.
I'll get some arms and be like, listen, this is what we're doing now.
Thanksgiving cards.
Thanksgiving cards. It works. So appreciate you guys so much. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, sets, or promises, you can obviously call our office. Number, as always, is 1-800-689-2800. Carrie,
2 more weeks left. Hang on. It's going to go fast.
It's going to go really fast. And it's literally, I think, 2 weeks from today, right?
I already have blocked off on Monday morning a whole section of call the people that I haven't touched with and tell them we got a week left.
And for the love of God, please check the statuses of your business. Please make sure that they are. Because it's gonna be too late to fix. You know, every year we have people that are calling us December 20th and hey, this isn't going through, and it's we don't have an option.
Yeah.
There is nothing we can do to help.
Oh gosh.
This. So check your business. Make sure that you're staying on top of it. But yeah, good luck. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Are you taking time off to be for Thanksgiving?
I am.
Good.
I am.
Good. You
Wednesday,
deserve that.
Thursday, and Friday.
Wow. That's a lot of time during AEP.
Long time during AEP.
But you need that.
I guess I'm taking time off from meetings. I'll still be, doing stuff.
Still doing your thing. But make sure you give yourself that time. Make sure you thank your loved ones for tolerating you during AEP. Yeah. Right now, I think that's what my husband always said. It's I can tell the ghost of Olivia was here during AEP. My wife doesn't exist, but the ghost of my wife does, because there's wine bottles places.
Perfect.
There's
lots of
random
coffee.
Clothes,
yes.
She's I can tell the AEP ghost of Olivia has been here. I don't know where she's at, but yeah. So
her presence was here.
Her presence, she is felt. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Take the time. Enjoy it. Thank your family. Thank your loved ones. So until next time, have fun.
Make money and give impeccable service.
Thanks, guys.